what does race have to do with autism? Like the basic question of what does this have anything to do with autism? What should we say?
I would say, and I know I say this in the book, but it's the first answer that comes to my head. Everything, literally everything, because it impacts. So when you think about, autism, out of the fact that, again, it's how we perceive the world, how we are perceived by the world. When my children were younger and they asked how to define autism, I said autism is a different way of thinking, moving, and speaking in this world, and that's how I left it. It's the way that your brain naturally does these things, and if you're a person of color, your way of speaking, thinking, moving is already different. So you're already different to begin with, and then you add this neurological aspect to it, and people don't understand. Like, so if I'm or my son, who, or one of my, is sitting, or one of your boys, is sitting, somewhere, from across the room, they, and then there's another, somewhere across the other room, there's, a young white boy sitting there as well. People can see, they may not see the mannerisms if they're too far away. You may not see stimming. You may not be able to see but you can see the color right there. And people have a perspective of you right there already. So that color is how you're going to be treated, for better or for worse. And so autism, if a police officer is stopping you, or if you're in a mall, or if you're, in the school, in the classroom setting, or what have you, people aren't attributing autism to your tone of voice being louder than, someone else's, or to you repeating things, or to you not answering a question, or to you not making eye contact. Again, another thing about the virtual thing is it's easy to make eye contact because you're not really looking at anyone or anything. So, so you're, the things that alarm people, that, are related to you being, having autism, but also your race already. So those aren't things that, I've been in situations myself, and, and I'm privileged and fortunate that not, that I haven't had some of the struggles that my peers have had, but I've been in situations, routine traffic stop. This is Texas. That's our revenue. You know what I mean? Where, some of my stimming devices are coils, or, and I keep them in my car. They're in my desk, they're in my purse. And, where, it alarmed an officer because they thought it might be a weapon. Or we could think about Neely Latson's situation where he was, waiting for the library to open, and, the officer was asking him his name and all these kind of questions. And a lot of times we may not be able to find words, or might not be comfortable talking to a stranger or answering questions. So when he tried to leave, he was detained, and the situation escalated from there. And I think that those are things that people don't talk about. It's already scary. They're killing neurotypical people of color. You know what I mean? So are we supposed to fare better, in those scenarios, those high, emotive and stressful, settings? Typically no.